what is this podcast about? It probably would help if you don't chew into the mic.
My name is Libby.
My name is Luke.
In this new episode.
This
new season.
And we are going to be focusing completely on weddings.
We are, in fact, the Wedding Pirates.
There's no other podcast like this. I've looked. I've checked.
And we have a cat. Her name is Stella.
We want to share all the secrets when it comes to weddings.
The one where we talk. Wedding edition. Hello, and welcome back to the one where we talk. Wedding edition. On this episode, we are going to be talking about boring grooms.
You said that so boring. You really sold that. That was good.
Because I despise boring grooms.
So we're going to talk about how to be a boring groom and how to be an exciting groom, right?
So much.
So let's talk about boring grooms. What makes a boring groom? What are we talking about? Not grooms that are late. We're not talking about you showing up with your pants off and trying to get your shirt on. You don't know where your tie is. That's just a disorganized groom. Boring grooms.
Boring grooms are just, they have no life to them. They just don't care about the wedding day. They're not
But that's
excited.
Just their personality.
No, it's just... Then change your personality.
If there's one day that you're going to change your personality and put in an effort to fake excitement, it's this day.
Yeah. I mean, we've had grooms before where they're just like quiet, but they're not boring.
Right.
You know, we just have had there is a balance of, you know, not being overly over top, and there's engaging into your wedding day. Like, this is not just the bride's day.
If there's one thing that you could do is just, if you want to be a boring groom, don't respond to your bride. If your bride is infatuated with you and she's all over you and she wants to know where you are and she wants to get a picture with you, she wants you to stay by her side, all these things, soak that up, feed that. Even if you tend to be a little bit more of a boring guy, feed her excitement. Give her, even if it's just give her a smile, or a hug, or just do something like out of the ordinary.
Yeah, or like the willingness to take more photos.
Yeah, 100%. Don't complain.
Yeah, don't whine.
Because if you want to be boring, that's fine, but don't force all your boringness on everybody else. Jeez.
Yeah, we had this groom once upon a time. We won't name any names or give specifics really, but we were just doing videography for this specific wedding, and
now I'm curious which one it is.
Yeah, so we were doing just videography for this wedding, and there was a different photographer. She was like really good friends with this guy, I guess. And so the bride and the groom gave the time of day for the photographer to take his photos and take their time, but the photographer didn't leave space for us to kind of capture what we needed to capture while he was doing what he needed to do. So like, he would pose the bride and groom, but he wouldn't leave space for us to kind of do it alongside of him. So we had to do it after the fact. We had to capture the bride and groom after the fact when he was done.
Which, that's honestly probably the worst way to do things, because there's not enough time to do that. Because a photographer and a videographer need 30 to 45 minutes each of a scene. So if you say you take them to the park to get portraits, a photographer does, you're gonna be at that park for 30 to 40 minutes just taking photos. Now imagine putting an additional 30 to 40 minutes on top of that whole scene. That's not gonna work, because now you're gonna be there for an hour and you gotta push your entire day back 30 to 45 minutes, and now do that 2 to 3 times, because how many sessions do you do? You're not going to capture everything twice. You're not going to do everything twice.
Right, and that's just annoying for the bride and groom, because they don't want to have to do everything twice.
Right.
So anyways, we hadn't captured a whole ton of video at this point of the bride and groom on their wedding day, and so I was like, hey, can I just get a little bit more footage? And the groom was like, I am so done with pictures. He literally said, he's like, can we be done with videos? I just need to get out of the sun. And we were like, dude, like, I asked for 30 seconds of your time to get this one video footage. And he was just like such a whiner and a complainer, and he didn't smile at all. He just was like grumpy, boring, had no personality. It was just very like, he didn't even look like he was excited to get married. And I was like, what?
It's so sad.
What is wrong with this dude?
And I understand I've met those guys. I've met the guys who are introverts and they are getting married. But I've also met those same guys who have a different kind of excitement on their wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
Even the most silent man, the most introverted man who doesn't have, let's say maybe a huge personality, maybe is slightly on the boring side in other people's perspectives, he changes on the wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to lots of guys like that.
Puts forth an effort.
Yeah, he does. He puts forth an effort because this day happens once. This day happens once. You're committing the rest of your life to another human.
Right.
That is cause to be excited. And if you're not excited for it, don't get married.
I mean, it's kind of like if you have fear of being in front of people, performance anxiety, or just crowds of people, and you're just scared to, like, you're going to mess up or something's going to happen. If there's a lot of fear surrounding your wedding day, just elope. Like, go out and do something.
Yeah.
Go somewhere with the bride and groom. Or go somewhere with your bride, or go somewhere with your groom. Have a small gathering of people that you love, you care deeply for. Hire a photographer and videographer and go to somewhere really cool. Have a destination wedding. Elope somewhere in the mountains.
It'll be cheaper. It'll be cooler. And you won't have to stand there in the sun and complain.
Yeah. And if you like to go hiking, go on a hike for your wedding day. Like, go to the top of a mountain. If that's something you really love.
So there is a way to combat your boringness. You just need to put forth an effort. And I think this is honestly kind of spilling into laziness just as a man I hate that because on my wedding day you were super shocked to hear I wanted input on my wedding day. I was excited for my wedding day
when we were planning the wedding.
We were planning our wedding,
you had like input and I was like, wait. This is my day to get married to you. You're not supposed to have input as a groom.
Yeah.
And I got really mad at you for saying you didn't want certain things that I really wanted. And I was like, how dare you have an input? But now I know better.
Yeah. Well, because now we know each other and I'm not a boring groom. Even if I was, I could honestly say that I would that based on my personality, I would at least put forth an effort just because I was taught work ethic.
Right.
If you would have taught the same Luke that was an introvert work ethic, he probably would have still put forth an effort on his wedding day. Maybe wouldn't have had as much input, but I was excited. So, and to get that stereotypical, I was upset about all the stereotypes that was put towards me as a groom, to be honest, because everybody thought you don't care. Oh, there'd be ladies that would come and talk to you about the wedding, and then they look at me, but you don't care. Yes, I do. Fuck you. I do care about my wedding day. I still do care about my wedding day. I would do the whole thing all over again, because
all in the same way.
I would change a few things, but that's a different topic. And I wonder, like, why is there this stereotype? Why are these ladies treating me this way and just automatically assume I don't care about my wedding day and think I'm boring?
Yeah.
It's guys like that that are not putting forth some kind of effort. It's not that you are boring based on your personality. It's that nobody's just naturally boring. You choose it. An introvert is something that you can't help. If you get worn out by people very easily, yes, I understand. You need a day to recharge. So recharge charge up for your wedding if that's what you need as an introvert.
Right.
So there are ways you can avoid.
Or just do it differently, or just don't have masses of people. Like, your wedding day is your wedding day to do whatever it is that you want. However you want to get married, you do it.
Yeah.
If you want to get married at a courthouse, you do that. If you want to get married in a mountain, you do that. If you want to get married underwater, you do that.
If you want to just get married with no photographer, no videographer, and just want to get, just go off somewhere to a chapel in Vegas and just say I do, you do that?
Yeah. Just do whatever fits you. Just don't be boring on a wedding day.
So how would you say,
like, with the traditional wedding
for a groom that is his personality genuinely struggles as an introvert, because you know this, because you're what is it, 80% introvert,
60%.
60. So you somewhat understand it more than me
Oh yeah.
because you need at least a 72-hour notice before hanging out with a mass amount of people.
Yeah, I can't just be sprung on that.
Because you put out energy to hang out with people. I get energy from hanging out with people.
Right. Oh. Oh my gosh, I'm tired and I have a headache. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I think for me it's just preparedness to be able to, say, hey, I'm gonna be around these people. I need to conserve my energy leading up to my wedding day, so that way I can. Also, too, it really helped on my wedding day to know that I could just focus on you, and I didn't have to worry about everybody else. I could just zone everybody else out, and I could just focus on you and the fact that I'm getting married to you, and I'm really excited to get married to you. And so that's kind of what helped me stay grounded was.
So you would tell maybe a boring groom or someone that's just maybe a bride that's frustrated with the fact that maybe her groom isn't showing a lot of excitement. How would you, because the likelihood of a groom listening to this might be a little less likely, maybe like 10% chance.
Don't stereotype.
I'm sorry, it's just, you're right. So, okay, well, then let's do it this way. So how would you advise a groom to be non-boring on his wedding day? He's
shot.
That's what you need. Monster, Red Bull, like you choose pick up a 5 hour
Well,
energy.
here's the thing, or here's a problem with that question is I don't know that groom.
Okay.
I don't know that groom. He knows himself best.
Yeah.
So, however, that groom needs to be prepared to show some ounce of excitement on his wedding day. That's what he needs to do to make sure that he can be the best that he can be for himself and the bride. So
how can a bride lovingly go and talk to her fiance who she's concerned about he might be boring on the wedding day? Well,
be supportive and say, hey, honey, I know that a lot of people in one area stresses you out, or whatever it is. She needs to communicate and ask questions like, how do you feel about being surrounded by 200
Yeah, do you
people?
even know your fiance's personality type? Maybe you don't know whether he's an introvert or extrovert. You should probably figure that out.
When you do plan a wedding day with your fiance, with your groom to be, you need to put into account like his personality or expectations. Like, are you wanting your groom to be an excited groom? Are you wanting him to be all happy-go-lucky, all smiles? And if that's not his personality, then you can't really expect that of him. So if you want him to be more, like, involved in the wedding day, maybe it's best for you guys just to elope because you know his personality. So don't force expectations on your groom when you know his personality. Probably the best. Probably even better than he does. If you can't put unrealistic expectations on your groom, if you know that he's not going to give exactly what you need. So if you want a more intimate day where he's going to be truly himself, just elope into the mountains.
Yeah. Maybe figure out what he wants too. Ask for his input.
Yeah.
Maybe don't assume that he doesn't have an input. Ask for it.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
And if you're asking someone like my friend Rob what he wants to do on his wedding day, you're like, yeah, just order some Buffalo Wild Wings and we'll get some 2 liters of soda and play Fortnite. Obviously after the ceremony or whatever, we could be playing Fortnite while we get married, like say I do in the middle of the game,
Oh, Rob.
But it's so maybe if you have a groom like that, but that might just be entertaining. What do you? But sometimes if you actually know your groom and you pose it as a serious question, then he'll give you a serious answer.
Yeah, and ask him if there's anxiety around a wedding day for him. Figure that out.
Yeah, what's he nervous about? What's he excited about? And maybe focus on the things that are exciting to him and maybe help him combat what's going to be scary and what's going to be stressful.
Yeah.
But I imagine a bride probably also wants to know, well, who's supporting me? Well, it's a two-way street.
It is a two-way street.
I did my very best to support. Honestly, I don't remember the planning process. I remember putting labels on jars for wedding favors,
Mm-hmm.
but it
Yeah,
all went
jam
by so
jars.
fast, and it was during Christmas time. So I don't really remember a lot of the planning process. It was all a blur. But I do remember my wedding day. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had your brother was a your brother was a very excited groom, and was a very fun groom. He's more introvert than you are. He's a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
John. I was a groomsman at his wedding. John is one of the most quiet people. I'm not. I was trying to figure out just a better word for that. Serene. Maybe that's a good word.
Yeah,
Is that a good
just
word?
chill.
His wedding day. I was thinking John's wedding. John's going to be just the most level-headed of levels on his wedding day, but he was actually excited. Personality came out. He let his natural excitedness of being married come out as an introvert.
Yeah, he was all smiles.
And yeah, and even the night before, and his wife's very extrovert as well,
Mm-hmm.
very like a big personality. And John is, he's just quieter. So to actually see him get excited, somebody like that, he's a perfect example of that, where you have a personality that's just naturally very quiet, not maybe boring. Maybe we shouldn't call this boring grooms, because John's not boring. It's just his. How do you combat? How would you advise a groom to be like your brother on their wedding day if you are an introvert and if you do struggle with getting excited for stuff because you know that it's going to expound energy
don't
to get
force
excited?
stuff just because. Yeah, just don't force emotion. But how about, I guess it's like, how about the bride and groom? How about the photographer, videographer with not complaining or whining? That's probably what this all comes down to.
What do you mean?
It's like, we shouldn't say that a groom is boring per se. We should say that a groom should just be willing to capture the things that need to be captured for the story. Instead of whining and complaining that we're taking more photos or more videos, just let it happen and know that we're on schedule. We're not gonna.
So this episode should be called "How to Be an Excited Groom."
No, how to not whine and complain throughout your wedding day, or I don't know.
Weddings for introverts.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, how to do a wedding as an introvert, and maybe we should interview John.
Yeah, maybe.
How did you do it? Tell us, because they're two completely different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
And he did it. He was excited. I watched him. I watched the big smile. He cried. He did all the things that a groom was supposed to do on their
Well, you
wedding
can't
day.
say that a groom was supposed to do what the groom was
Okay,
supposed to do. That's putting on expectations that are unrealistic. Because every groom.
All the stereotypical things that you think of a groom doing on the wedding day: crying, smiling, happy, hyping up the bride, just being excited, like all the giddiness the stereotypical things that you see, that you want to see in a groom, that you think about when you think about a Pinterest wedding. That was it. He did it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say. But this is a little bit of a shorter episode, but just remember to don't
force anything.
Yeah, don't force emotion. Just let emotion
But
happen.
don't force a wedding day either if that's something that you're not all for.
Yeah. Don't
do
force
what
anything.
helps
Do
you
what
to be the
both
best
wanna do.
person.
Do
No, have your wedding day reflect you as individuals and as a couple coming together in marriage. Don't have a big fancy wedding if that's something you're not excited about. Don't just elope if you're excited to be around more people. Have a smaller, intimate wedding. Do what works best for you in your personality, and you will be happy.
Yeah. Just let emotion naturally happen. Pursue happiness, and be the best you can be. It's turning into an encouraging,
Inspirational.
an inspirational podcast. And as for the bride, the same goes for you, and the same goes for the groom. Don't force any emotion. Just let emotion happen. Don't put any expectations on each other. Just let it happen. Let the wedding day happen. You're already putting enough expectations on yourself in the decorations and the coordination and financially. So don't put that kind of pressure on yourself and your personalities. Just let you guys be you guys on your wedding day.
And let your wedding day reflect you guys as a couple and as individuals.
And that's all we got. So
Yeah.
thanks for listening to the one where we talk wedding edition. If you have suggestions on how a bride could and groom can have the happiest day of their life, thanks for listening.
Follow us on all the things.
And this is the one where we talk.
Have a wonderful day.